Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 243. And today we're going to be talking about the Clan Phantom, that really speedster recon designed mech that's pretty much used by Clan Wolf and I think Jade Falcon. The mech is a 9140, so it is a speed demon basically when it comes to moving around on a table. It has 12 double heat sinks. It comes in at 40 tons with Indo steel and ferrofibrous armor. Has 115 points of armor, which, well, it's short of what could be fully maxed out. But when you got a 360 engine in this thing will fly. It gets around the board pretty quickly. Now, there are a whole bunch of different configurations, but the primary configuration of this mech is it has the ER medium laser in the right arm. It's got Guardian ECM in the right torso. It's got an LRM-5 in the left arm with a ton of ammo. Then it has TAG in the left torso, an ER small laser in the left torso, and Beagle probe in the center torso. Now, when you get a mech, it has the ECM and the Beagle probe, so it can find hidden objects, and it also will help against Artemis or C3 systems when you run against those things. This mech doesn't have the greatest amount of firepower, but its greatest strength comes from being fast. That's one of its main defensive mechanisms is speed, and able to find targets that are hidden, or protecting its lance mates from, or not lance mates, actually star mates, from being hit by the Artemis or other assorted goodies. Like I said, the C3. Shutting down networks. Getting in amongst, if you're facing off against Inner Sphere, where you don't have a lot of good pilots, you're looking at your standard, run-of-the-mill 4-4s, 4-5s, or even a 3-4. They're going to have a hard time connecting with this thing. So, the firepower isn't really necessarily a bad thing, because it can get in there quickly, do a drive-by, and then keep on moving down the line. And if you combine this with some other fast-moving star mates, then you're going to be wolf packing this thing up together with it and doing some pretty good work with it. Now, there is, let's see, we've got, 4 more configurations with this thing. Configuration A, this one has an ER small laser in the right arm, ER small laser in the right arm, LRM-5 in the with its right torso, two ER small lasers in the left arm, and another ER small laser in the left torso, facing towards the rear. I guess if you're flying by, you're doing a drive-by. And then you got an ER medium laser, which is its primary weapon system, out to 15. If you're fighting standard Inner Sphere mechs, 15 is pretty common, when you're looking at AC-10s and standard large lasers. So it's right at home with the same range bands. The only time you're going to be going against something as farther as the LRMs and the PPCs, and at that range, against something that's moving as fast as this is, you get it up past 10, you get that 4 mod. Most Inner Sphere mechs are not going to be connecting. So that's its biggest defense. Flying by, moving, get a 4 mod, then get into some wood hex or something of that nature. Behind some cover, partial cover, then you're looking at a 5 mod, 6 mod, possibly. And then pop on top of that, you got the other pilot's movement modifiers on top. So, the odds are at long range, you probably will never get hit. It's a different story, though, when you start getting up against not Inner Sphere, but clan mechs, with large pulse lasers and targeting computers. And then it's like, well, you just lost pretty much half of your modifier, and it won't take long for a good clan pilot with that kind of equipment will tear one of these things to pieces. But, you just have to recognize the fact that you have to move fast and use cover as best you can. And put something else out there that's a better target that will soak up the damage. That's what some of those heavies and assaults do. They're damage sinks. That's what their job is a lot of times. And, okay, then we have configuration B. Now, this one's a little short-range stuff. This one has a SRM-4 in the right arm with a ton of ammo. Then we got a ER small laser to the rear and the right torso. SRM-4 in the left arm with a ton of ammo, Beagle probe, and an ER medium laser. So once again, the ranges aren't that great, but you could do some good damage. Now, one thing you might consider doing is possibly throwing Infernos or something. Go that route. Okay, configuration C. This one is basically the drive-by, up-close, in-your-face version. This one has, 8 ER small lasers. We got 4 in the right arm, and I think, 4 in the left arm, 1 in the right torso to the rear, and then we have one in the left torso, an ER medium laser in the left torso, and a target computer in the center torso. So basically what you have here is something that can just fly up on somebody, use the target computer, get a little bit of bonus, in case you're a little farther away than you want to be, negate some of the negatives you have with it, and just do a preferable a little bitty plinking damage. It's, that's the nature of that one. Your only long-range weapon system is that ER medium laser, and that goes out to 15, but nothing to be, really complain about it too much. Its sole purpose, the way I look at that, is either fly up on a enemy vehicle and just hit it so many times that you're getting mobility hits, or flying up behind another mech and just rip all the armor off its rear end. You may not get through it all in the first turn, because I'm going to go in the arms and the legs and, that nature. But you're doing a lot of good damage and hitting that rear. So eventually, let's say you hit a assault mech, and there's fair assault mech, and you tear most of the armor off. Go down the line, go hit somebody else, and then whip back in 2 turns later and hit it again in the rear. And you already tore off most of the armor off the rear and then hit it again. And then you possibly will be crit hunting then. That's kind of like how I look at that one. Version D. This SRM-4 streak in the right arm with a ton of ammo. And then we have an ER small laser in the right arm, and left arm is an ER medium laser. 2 of them in the left arm, and then we have an ER medium laser in the center torso. So that one, a little bit farther capability. It goes out a little bit farther distance, so you can stay a little standoffish. Now that one works, to me, in my opinion, more towards being an interceptor and anti-scout type of mech, where you're knocking off larger chunks off an enemy mech and following up with some crits that direction. And you got, with the 12 heat sinks on it, you can dissipate 24. So if you run, there's 22 left, so that's not bad. So when you add up all the heat, you're still staying cool with that mech. Now, I have in the past used a different version that's slightly, it's kind of like taking configuration D and C together. And that one still uses the target computer, and then it had 4 ER medium lasers on board. And I think it had ECM. So we were fighting against Word Blake. That was the configuration I remember using, and it worked pretty decent. You could fly down the line. It's like we had a couple of them, and that was just creating. We were working in conjunction where we had creating a bubble, ECM bubble that was shutting down their C3 network, so they couldn't use them and take advantage of it. So we were shutting those down, and we had the target computers and the ER medium lasers, so we were doing some good work. You know, like half the time I was hitting with probably 2 out of the 4. But, you know, you could fire 4 of them and then still run with no problem. And if I remember correctly, might have had a flamer. I think I had a flamer. Yeah, I think there was a flamer on board. So that was for anti-infantry work. Even though occasionally we'd run up on a vehicle. There was a few vehicles on the thing and just hit them with a flamer too. Try to do the shake and bake. But overall, it's not a bad mech. I like it. It's the whole purpose of it is to shut things down and find things for you. It's not a brawler by any means, and I don't have a problem with that. When you have something that's designed to be an anti-scout or /scout and get in and get out really quick. Now, the only thing I would like to have seen is maybe one with, say, put 3 tons towards jump jets or something, or of that nature, so you'd have one that can go through more heavy terrain, and if you had to jump, you could, you know, go that route, and just pair it up with a few ER medium lasers and a flamer, possibly, you know, go that route, because I think this thing has 6.5 tons of 6.5 tons of pod space, so yeah, you could easily do that. You could put maybe even put 7 jump jets on this thing, and then go with a target computer and a couple ER medium lasers. You know, put that forth. That's a good option to possibly. All right, so that is the Phantom in a nutshell. The Phantom of the Opera. Not a bad mech. I like it. It's not the most firepower driven mech of the clans, but it's built for a specific job, and that's recon. This is your recce mech. All right. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Elkrig's out.